Senator Rand Paul is taking a stand against unfortunate bipartisan consensus on foreign policy. So this is from CNN. They say Senator Rand Paul intends to force a vote in the Senate on the $110 billion arms deal to Saudi Arabia that President Donald Trump announced during his visit there, to a Paul aide told CNN. That seems like a little bit of a typo or whatever. Anyway, Paul is expected to introduce a measure to disapprove of the sale later this week, and he has the ability under Senate rules to eventually force a vote on it. The Kentucky Republican is concerned that giving more arms to Saudi Arabia would drag the U.S. further into the Saudi-led war in Yemen and worsen the humanitarian situation there. Paul did the same thing for a $1.15 billion Saudi arms deal last year that was approved by the Obama administration. His effort was rejected 26-71. Wow. Look at that. 71 members of Congress, of the Senate, I should say, were like, yeah, let's arm Saudi Arabia, a Wahhabi state that has the same ideology of ISIS, that beheads people in the public square for sorcery and witchcraft and drug smuggling, doesn't give women equal rights at all, calls all atheists terrorists. They're draconian, they're primitive, they're super fundamentalist, they're authoritarian. We don't care. We're going to 71 senators. Wow. I mean, those numbers right there, probably a great breakdown of like how big of a sellout the different people are. So 71 members of the Senate are beyond all hope, basically. That's what that shows. $1.15 billion. Now we're talking about $110 billion worth of arms to Saudi Arabia. So Trump, who used to call Saudi Arabia the #1 state sponsor of terror, said, Obama with his measly $1.15 billion. Step aside, son. Here, let me show you how it's done. $110 billion. Oh, my goodness. But this is Rand Paul showing a little bit of strength here in bucking orthodoxy and following in the footsteps of his father, Ron Paul, who would have done this as well, who's saying, come on, what are we doing? They're more non-interventionist on foreign policy, and that's a good thing. But there's almost certainly not going to be enough people to stand up with him, which is crazy. It's fucking crazy that we're arming a terrorist country. Right now, they're carrying out a genocide in Yemen. Yes, I just used that word. Why did I use that word? Because that's what's fucking happening. It's not an even fight. Are you kidding me? You got ragtag Shia rebels over there, and you got U.S. fighter jets and cluster bombs and all the armament in the world and the biggest military with their intelligence apparatus behind you on the Saudi side, and they're bombing mosques, and they're bombing hospitals, and they're bombing schools and open-air markets and schools for the blind and using weapons that are illegal under international law and massacring babies. They're doing a blockade where now at least 14 million people are starving right now. They don't even let in humanitarian aid in many respects. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening in Yemen. And we're like, yeah, here, take $110 billion. And it's really worse than that because it's not just to continue the situation in Yemen, which, by the way, is way more one-sided than the situation in Syria, which is a civil war, which we're so eager to get involved in because, humanitarian reasons. You want to care about humanitarian reasons? Care about what's happening in Yemen because we're backing that. We're on the wrong side of that. But it's worse than that because this $110 billion, it's not just to continue to arm a terrorist regime. It's to allow the terrorist regime to create their own NATO. They want to create a Gulf state Arab Sunni NATO that's going to encircle Iran and probably try to do something down the road. So, this is the neocons' wet dream, is Donald Trump. He's a little bitch to their grand plans, which are stupid, ridiculous, horrific plans that arm terrorists. So, god damn, this is gross, man. And Rand Paul, good on you for standing up. But unfortunately, you're probably going to get the same numbers. Maybe 26 people will go, yeah, I'm against $110 billion to a state that beheads people in the public square for apostasy. So don't give me your bullshit about, freedom and human rights and democracy, which is why we just gave $110 billion in weapons to a regime that represents the polar opposite of everything we claim we stand for.